everybody, welcome back to the Game Over Club, and today I'll be talking about Tales of D&D. Woo, Tales of D&D. Yes, so I run an old school D&D game with a group of mine, about 4 or 5 players or so usually, and I want to share some just current stuff that we're playing at the moment. And one of the things, of course, I'm the DM of said group. I've been probably DMing classic D&D for like 4 or 5 years now, and I run the Rule Cyclopedia version, and currently the gang, consisting of Ideal, the kind of mage fae, Siegfried, the dwarven fighter, Azazel, the tiefling barbarian. Who else we got? We have Pandemonia, a clerical tiefling, and finally Lithiana, the elven fighter. And so the group has been tasked by Queen Valuna of Moonhiem, the elven queen, to kind of look into the strange goings-on in the Ehlonnah Forest. Now, it's been rumored that one of their outposts, outpost number 3, has lost contact. They've lost contact for about maybe a week or so. Now, outpost number 2 had sent out a patrol to go and investigate what was going on. Well, that was around 2 days ago, with no word from them either. So obviously Queen Valuna is very distraught by this. She's very concerned, and she has tasked the group to go and investigate, find out what's been going on, what's happening at this outpost. So the gang, they saddle up, they buy their equipment and supplies in Moonhiem, the big huge elven kingdom in the Ehlonnah Forest, about northeast, we'll say. And they have to travel dead west pretty well through a majority of the forest. And along the way, they came across a rampaging bear. They had to deal with some strange goings-on as well. They've been finding dead elven bodies with their face kind of like half removed, almost like just kind of like gone, like these bizarre and strange carvings around their bodies. They found like almost like ritual like inscriptions on it. So the party goes, and there was bandits they had to face off against, which they vanquished mightily. So a day or so goes in, and they have to obviously have to camp out. Well, they come to this clearing, pretty much maybe the center of the forest. They come to this huge, ominous-looking tower. Okay, so they scope out the tower, and they find, actually, there's like maybe 20-25 zombies in there. The tower has been totally secured and shut, from the outside, obviously. They kind of poked around. Ideal, being a fae, she flew up, maybe 25 feet up. She looked into the open gaping window, and she saw movement. Well, it was actually one of the zombies trying to get her. And the zombie fell out, splattered all over the ground. This is well before the party kind of, they had made moves already, breaking down the door and checking things out while there were zombies waiting for them. Thankfully, the cleric, Pandemonia, turned a few of them. Quick thinking by the tiefling barbarian, Azazel, he just cleaved nearly half of them. They finally did vanquish all of them, not before setting the tower on fire and burning it down. Of course, that alerted the attention of druids. Obviously, they're the protectors of the forest, so this beautiful-looking elven female comes rolling in, hood, cloak, and everything. She kind of quelches the fire, right, so it doesn't spread to the rest of the forest, right? Obviously, the party go back and forth, discussing, hey, they didn't know, whatever. So they make the charisma rolls, and it turns out that the druid, being Ivy Greenwood, she invites them to go to her home, to stay at her home. So with Ivy inviting the whole gang into her home, her druid grove, what have you, they started kind of picking up on conversations, trying to find out what this bizarre ritual writing was on all these elves they were finding, these dead bodies. Turns out that Ivy's been kind of tracking this new cult that's been kind of invading the woodlands in the Ehlonnah Forest, and the cult is the cult of Ouroboros, and they've been kind of going after the elves for some random reason. But their leader, Circia, is the main culprit. The runes that were on the bodies turned out to be a message, almost like they're a sacrifice to find the new moon princess for this cult. Circia looks to be like she wishes to be the new moon princess. In doing so, she will be given powers by Ouroboros, the god that they all worship. Now, so the party figures some of this out. So later in the morning they wake up, they get ready, and they travel again on the lookout for outpost number 3. Now it takes them maybe an hour or so. They do come across against some raiders, but they roleplay their way out of it, out of any danger anyway, which was actually really cool. So they sneak up and they find finally this ominous looking, very quiet, very kind of drab, dark looking outpost. It is outpost number 3. Now there's no guards posted way up in this almost like treetop. It's like a tree house. This huge kind of wooden building built right into this huge 150 foot tall redwood tree. Now the gang, specifically Ideal, she flies up, she grabs the coiled up rope ladder that had been coiled all the way up. No way of getting in pretty well besides that. She drops it down. The PCs kind of head their way up, cautiously of course. They go onto the catwalk. They see that the large double doors are closed. 2 windows are barred shut with window shutters. There's 4 guard posts on each corner of the rectangular building, but there's no guards. That is until they hear a door opening and footsteps approaching way towards the right-hand side. So they're scrambling about. They kind of make their way around, and they actually subdue these rather bizarre-looking guards. They're all in black cloaks. They've got this little insignia on top of the hood. It's a half-crescent moon with 2 stars on it. They have scaly features. It turns out that they vanquished about 2 or 3 lizard folk. These lizard-like type men. They actually do really well in this section. I thought they were going to alert a lot of the guards inside, but they actually subdued all of them. They made their way inside. Now, in doing that, they found right away that there's almost been a huge battle. There's a river of blood across the floor, across the walls. Make their way inside. Of course, there's other patrols kind of lurking about in the corridors. They actually do really well in this in stealth-wise. They did really fantastic, and they didn't alert any of the guards, which was awesome. If anything, they kind of they captured a few and slew them. They kind of just grabbed them and then just took care of business, if you will. They found out more information about the cult. In various rooms, there's a research room, or a communications room, I should say. And the communications room had just everything was thrown to shreds. The whole tables, chairs overturned, everything, mass hysteria. They found that the room housed at one point a crystal ball, whether or not to communicate back with other outposts, or perhaps Moonhiem and Queen Valuna, Queen Varia being her sister in Riverglade. But it was missing. The only thing that was actually there was actually the center crystal ball holder, which was like pure silver. It had like this fancy design with like the wind blowing these leaves around it. Very, very beautiful. I think Pandemonia took it. I think he still has it. So the crystal ball was missing, and there was a lot of these tomes and books that were also missing pages, almost as if there was Circia and her group were trying to maybe summon their god. A little later on, they made their way up to the second level, where they came across again more guards. This time, actually, they found almost like they found a torture room, and they found a prison, almost like a makeshift prison cell, which housed the captain of the main patrol from Outpost 2. Now, he was Everin Moss, and Everin was out being tortured, obviously, by the cult for information. But the party rescued him. Siegfried bent the bars. Being a strong dwarf, he's got like an 18 strength. His charisma is actually really good too. So he bent the bars, got him out, saved Everin. So now Everin is actually in the party, helping them out. They did battle, obviously, with more of the guards. They found some other type of guards too, almost like purple diamond-shaped scales with like maybe like a blue little edge that kind of encirculated it. Each kind of scale just to kind of pop, make them pop and just make them look way more sophisticated. They actually don't know exactly who these type of guards are. Perhaps officers of Circia, who knows? But they did subdue at least 2 of them towards the end of this session. At the present moment, they did make their way to another spiral staircase to the top. They made their way to the spiral staircase and kind of maybe how they house themselves at the moment, preparing for the 3rd level. So they haven't actually reached that just yet, but they did a fantastic job. Stealth, just subduing their opponents. They did a great job. And who knows, what more dangers lurk ahead, or above them, I should say. But that's it for right now for Tales of D&D, classic D&D at its finest. I will be making more videos, obviously, and letting you guys know how the gang will get out of this situation, if they will even get out of the situation, being there's a few more floors to go. Anyways, guys, layer days and layer levels. Take care.